Hot Finnish summer, what a great excuse to talk about some Icelandic black metal, Golden Grim, obviously. This band is Helfró, and it's from Iceland, obviously, being the debut album of this band founded in 2017. Now, this debut album was originally released, I guess, self-financed more or less in 2018, but now it's out with a bonus track coming through Season of Mist, being out there since May 2020. So this debut album is some 36 minutes long, one bonus track which is there right from the beginning. To give you a little insight, that means this track here. At least if not, I'm not mistaken about it, given that the Metal Archives site is providing me with the information. The style here is rather modern black metal with some death metal parts included. Now obviously it depends once again how familiar you are with death metal, even if you come with black metal background. That is, I really don't know how many people realize that some ideas here are very much like a homage to Morbid Angel style, including some of the growly vocals, but also the type of riffs used. Most of all, however, this is just black metal in fast tempo, melodic, and maybe more akin to Norwegian style, yet with kind of a modern approach. Let's take a look at the band's Metal Archive site while I guide you through. So as you can see here, not much has happened in the band's complete discography. It only shows you this Helfró album. In related links you will find Bandcamp and Facebook, which links will be provided in the description box in case you want to go for it. And here you have the lineup information of this two-man band. As you can see, these guys have experience in other projects as well, so I guess that comes with the territory, Iceland being very small country, and in Reykjavik, I guess, having a kind of a unified small scene. I don't know how unified it is in fact, but given that it's not a big city and so many bands have this sort of a same kind of feeling with the riffs and ideas, it seems like these bands are connected as much as like 1990s death metal scene was in the in Stockholm, Sweden, and so many other bands, countries, scenes having the same kind of stuff here. Now here is the original version of this independent version, and as you can see it has 7 tracks, missing the first one, but in case you just look for this version you can pretty much click out these other versions. So as you can see it has been released a couple of times, and this version which I have is this digipack version here, which has this bonus track listed here. It's missing one of the tracks information here and the first one, so that's why this is not showing the proper length here. Like I said, among these death metal ideas being on this album, there are parts that remind me a lot of late Satyricon, so kind of a modern, melodic, and in so many ways not too warm sounding black metal. Kind of a grim, fast tempo, aggressiveness is very much there, and as such this reminds me a lot more of this kind of a modern black metal bands, especially the Icelandic style, rather than the kind of a traditional Nordic style that is being 1990s style from Sweden, Norway or Finland. And that style is something that you either probably love or dislike, depending when, at which phase you just kind of started to listen to your black metal in the first place. In my opinion, Icelandic black metal scene is very interesting, but too many bands seem to sound like one another, and they have this habit of going very dissonant in style. And obviously, some people this is totally cool and new and welcome, but some people might be a little bit shy about it or shun away from it because, you know, if you are coming from the background with first and second wave of black metal and not so much interested in this modern style, it might be just a little bit too different, kind of a hard to get into. And I'm basing this well, on different kind of opinions I've heard throughout the ages, my personal experience, and also the opinion which I remember coming from, you know, Satyricon, when it was in this phase when it started to shift from this kind of a classic second wave black metal towards more newer style. Not exactly post metal. Post metal or post black metal wasn't used back then, but since those times, you know, when albums such as Rebel Extravaganza and Volcano and stuff like came out, people were like already like ready to say that the band has started totally new wave, and people don't always like if the style is very different. But then again, if you just happen to like that kind of a satirical sound and style, I don't know if this album is too far away from that. Now, obviously, because this has some death metal elements, people might considering this, depending once again which track you're listening to, sort of a Black Death hybrid, but I wouldn't go as far, because definitely, while there are some death metal elements here, with the vocals and with some of the riffs, this is not a Black Death metal kind of a hybrid. It's definitely like 90%, 95% black metal, with just death metal as a seasoning. There are also a little bit choir parts and synths, once again, just as a seasoning, which is there to give this album kind of a nice diversity, so it's not just repeating this one pony trick kind of a gimmick. All in all, to be said about Helfró debut album is that it's very much work in progress. While I like the ideas what the band is going through, and there's some of very interesting melodies, and some very grim and nice aggressiveness with the album, some of those songs are more like, seem like the band is experimenting a little bit, but not ready to just go full blown with that given style. So in my opinion, it's very much like still searching what to do next. Is it just flirting with death metal, or will that be the next step? We don't know yet. I guess we will find out in the coming months or years. That all being said, this is an interesting album, give it a listen, but in my opinion, don't expect greatness. This is a solid release, kind of a good also, but still something, in my opinion, needs to be honed and made to the next level, so to speak. An interesting release with an interesting band, and give it a listen through those Bandcamp links or your favorite streaming service, and you will find whether or not this is your cup of tea. Thank you for watching. Enjoy some Icelandic black metal.